Onto a Northeast Live exclusive. The stage is set for the construction of the mega state-of-the-art elevated corridor in Kaziranga National Park. The National Board for Wildlife, the apex body in India for all wildlife-related matters, has approved the elevated corridor near Kaziranga National Park. The rupees 6,500 crore wildlife-friendly elevated expressway will be India's longest, covering a 35-kilometer distance from 3 stretches. Precast structures will be imported for the mega project, sources informed, adding that this will also be India's first multiple animal crossing elevated corridor. The elevated corridor, which will be along the national highway in the area, will span 3 locations, approximately covering a distance of 34.38 kilometers. The responsibility for this substantial project has been entrusted to the National Highway Authority of India. The project will utilize a methodology that minimizes construction on the existing road to reduce the impact on traffic flow. The first 20-kilometer section of the elevated corridor will stretch from east of Jaklabanda to Bandardubi, behind the Burapahar Hill, and the second stretch of 10 kilometers will be from Kuthori police station area, and the third stretch of 5 kilometers will start from Panbari. Kaziranga National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is home to one-horned rhinoceros. Meanwhile, in more good news, Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma, while taking to Twitter, informed that the National Board for Wildlife has also approved the Guwahati Ring Road project, including the Narangi-Kurwa Bridge, Diporbil, Railway Elevated Corridor, and Chapaguri to Amteka, Assam Mala Project Road up to the Bhutan border. So the National Board for Wildlife has also given the go-ahead for the Chapaguri to Amteka Assam Mala Project Road that extends up to the Bhutan border. So the stage is all set for the construction of the mega state-of-the-art elevated corridor in Kaziranga National Park. And the National Board for Wildlife, the apex body in India for all wildlife-related matters, has approved the elevated corridor near Kaziranga National Park. All right, our Chief of Bureau, Arindam Das, joins us over the phone line to give us the latest on this exclusive story. Well, Arindam, the stage is all set for the construction of mega state-of-the-art elevated corridor in Kaziranga National Park. What more details could you give us at this point in time?
Yes, Pooja, this was a much-awaited project in Kaziranga National Park, where National Highway runs through the national park, and there is heavy movement of traffic, including light vehicles and heavy vehicles, including trucks and buses. So, at most times, animals cross the highway, and on many occasions there has been tragedies when wild animals get hit and killed by the speeding vehicles. In fact, there is speed regulation in the Kaziranga National Park. The speed breakers. In fact, there is a speed card issued during the flood season, because at that time, during the flood season, the animals cross over from the lower reaches to the higher grounds, and that's when they cross the highway. And at that time, there is maximum number of accidents that take place. So this is to minimize the accidents that happen on the national highway when speeding vehicles hits wild animals. And this was a much-awaited project, and it's a 35-kilometer stretch of elevated corridor which will be constructed and which has got a node right now, and it will be constructed right from Jaklabanda and beyond the point where the Kaziranga National Park ends on the western side. So this will definitely be a state-of-the-art project which is coming up in the Kaziranga National Park. And as I have said, this was a much-awaited project. It was a matter of concern for the wildlife conservationists as well as wildlife experts. They have always advocated that there should be an elevated corridor there so that there is a minimum impact of the national highway in the Kaziranga National Park. And as I have said, that every year there is a flood in Kaziranga National Park, and it's then when the wild animals from the low-lying grounds cross over from the low-lying grounds to the higher grounds. So you see, Kaziranga National Park is comprised in three districts, that is Nagaon district, Karbi Anglong district, as well as the Golaghat district. So this is a very big national park, and it comprises three districts. And when there is flood season, there is a heavy flooding in Kaziranga National Park. The wild animals cross the highway, and at that time, many tragedies take place. Speeding vehicles runs over the wild animals and they get killed. And that's why this was a much anticipated project which is coming up. And yes, this is going to be a state-of-the-art project which is coming up in Kaziranga National Park.
All right, thank you, Arindam, for giving us all those details.